Liam, it's very difficult to know where to start today because the superlatives have been said, everything's been talked about. It couldn't really go much better than it is at the moment, could it?
No, I think look, the lads have done terrifically well. I think if you look at it, the run of form that we're on, I think just first and foremost how they're applying themselves, and then the performances and the quality they've shown in games as well. So look, I think we really important to reflect and see the positives and take that confidence and that momentum into the next game. But I think what's most important is that you don't you know whether it's a win or a loss, you don't spend too much time in it. And that's the beauty of League One, which we've said numerous times, right? I think moving on quickly, getting ready for the next game is what the biggest challenge I think is in this league. And I think going into another tough game tomorrow, the guys are in a good spot.
It's human nature, though, Liam, isn't it? You've got a great group and they're level-headed, and you've talked about culture throughout the season, but it's human nature that those players will be thinking the same as what we're thinking, and the same as what the fans are thinking. They'll be thinking, we could get promoted. We are in a really good position. And do you ever want to take that away from them? Because obviously that's ambition, and that's what you want from your players. You want them to do well. How do you manage that?
I think the biggest thing is, look, I think it's quite clear. Everybody should have goals that they're working towards, and people should be ambitious and be hungry and be driven, and all the qualities you spoke around there. They should have that. I think the most important bit is understanding why they've done well, though, and I think that's the bit that we spend most of our time talking about. Why have we done well in recent fixtures? What is it that's allowed us to perform to the level, but also get the results that we have? And that comes down to me for the behaviours that we constantly speak about, which discipline, intensity, focus, attitude, work rate, being competitive. They're the fundamentals, I think, of any performance or any team that does well. So, of course, I'm sure it's difficult for them to ignore the noise, but for me, the biggest challenge I give to them is concentrate on why they've done well and focus on that. Don't be distracted by things that might take your eye off. What's most important to keep that run going.
We have spoken a little bit about this, in the last few months. I think one of the most impressive things so far this season is the way that new players have been integrated very quickly into the side from the transfer window, the players that came in, and we're now seeing. I was just watching the highlights for the game against Charlton, and you can see Connor Wickham, obviously, his chest's out and he's hungry and eager, and he's been integrated. Kane has obviously got his goal. That's been a massive part of the success, hasn't it? The integration of the new players into the side.
Yeah, definitely. And it's, again, credit to the group and credit to the staff. It's not easy to, we must transition the team. When you look at it, we had 9 out and 7 in January. So it was a big turnaround. But, I said it, I think, the other night after the game. I think what credit has to go to is the people at the club that create the culture that we have. I think that allows for an easier and a smoother transition into the team when people felt more welcome. People, are giving clarity around their role, how we play, what's expected. And that's not just done by, the staff. That's the players as well. The players hold each other accountable to to what we want to do on the pitch. So I think when you look at it, guys have stepped in, and I've said it over and over again that we need the squad. We need people being ready to step in and contribute to the team and what the team needs at any given time. And we've seen that in the game the other night. We've seen people step in and deliver when asked
to. Beware Bolton. Their form. I think 1 defeat in 10, something like that. They've really picked up since I think it was 4 or 5 defeats on the spin back in December, January, and now they are playing well and getting results against teams in the top part of the table. They're a real danger, Liam.
Yeah, really good side. I think when and it kind of shows the strength of the league again. They obviously have a tough run earlier in the year, and they're now on a terrific run, and you see how quickly things can change, which again highlights the importance of not getting carried away with things and taking it game by game. But yeah, I've actually really enjoyed watching elements of their game in the opposition work that we've done. I think they've got real good energy. I think they have a real good blend of style. I think they move the ball really well, but at the same point, I think they're not afraid to to go long as well and hurt you. So I think they've got real good variation, and yeah, they've got players a handful. So I think what's exciting about tomorrow is you've got 2 informed teams that are ready to go head to head.
Just talk a little bit about Kane, who's coming in obviously during the transfer window. He's got bagged himself a goal, and looks lively. Just talk us through how you feel about his time at MK Dons so far.
Yeah, it's pleased with him the other night. He's obviously had to be a little bit patient. I think, with a few of the guys coming in January, you're walking into a team that's done really well, and some guys that have credit, so some of them having to be a little bit more patient than others. He's kept his head down. He's worked hard in training. He's showed a good attitude. And obviously getting the opportunity the other night, he stepped up and delivered. It was, I'm sure, a lot more enjoyable for him than his debut away at Fleetwood in them conditions. So he took his goal really well, and arguably he could add a second one at the end. He obviously had a really good chance towards the late stages of the game. So it was a solid performance from him.
Cheers, Liam. That'll do for me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's only going to be a short, sharp one this afternoon, Liam. What's the latest with Aidan Baldwin's injury? How's he getting on?
Yeah, he's still progressing. He had an injection actually a few weeks ago that's responded well too. So he's still progressing with his rehab and heading in the right direction.
As you mentioned, it's going to be two teams that are certainly in form in League One at the minute, but two teams that like to play a decent brand of football as well. You must be expecting not just a competitive game, but quite a pleasing one on the eye as well.
Yeah, I think sometimes they talk around it in boxing, don't they? Around styles make boxing matches. I think there's an element of obviously that in football as well, where like I said, I like their style. I like how they play. I like the energy they have. I like the variation in their build-up. There's a real purpose to what they try and do, and hopefully I'm pretty sure we're the same at that. So I think when you look at it, it's a good make-up in terms of form and style.